Hi everyone! Okay, round two. We are getting on here. I'm getting on here. It's Kylie from 97.1 ZHT. We're going to talk to Jack Gilinksy here in a second once he jumps on. And we're going to talk to him about his new single that's coming out. It's his first solo single because he was with Jack and Jack before the duo. So we are excited to talk to him and get to know him. And if you were here before, then you got to talk to me a little bit, and we're gonna talk to him now. So let's see if we. We're waiting for him.
Hello.
Hello, hello.
Sorry, I'm literally getting dressed like as we speak. How's it going?
You're good. We had like some issues before because we thought it was gonna be at 6 our time, so like 2 hours ago. So we got
Oh,
on here for a second, and I got to talk to your fans, so that was fun.
hey, well, hey, at least you got to talk to them. They're very, very joyful people, great people to talk to. So I'm glad.
They are.
How's
Well,
your day going?
it's good. So I got some tacos just barely, so that was nice.
Tacos are really good. I just had a vegan burger, and it was very good. It was very good.
I heard you haven't had any meat today in your diet.
That is actually true. Earlier I accidentally said I haven't had any protein, which is not true because I've had a lot of protein, but no meat. So today was a meatless Wednesday. Yeah.
And do you do that a lot?
That is not something that I do on like a routine, but I'm sure that I accidentally don't eat meat a lot. You know, I'm trying to cut back on meat, but it's tough because at the same time I want to stay fit and I want to like keep putting on muscle, but it's like not an easy thing to do without meat.
Yeah, and it's hard to grab protein in other forms too. So
It's very true. I have to eat a lot of beans, a lot of like I don't even know what. I got to do some studying, and then maybe I'll go vegan.
yeah, there we go. Well, we're here with Jack Gilinksy, everyone, and he actually has a new single. It's called "My Love." I listened to it this morning when I was getting ready. I was kind of jamming out. So
Hey, thank you so much. Did you like it? You enjoyed it?
yeah, and that's kind of like the style that I listen to already. So I like
Okay,
it.
sweet.
Yeah, it was
That
awesome.
makes me really, really happy. I'm glad that you like it.
Yeah. So I kind of wanted with the interview. I know a lot of people that have been interviewing you today have kind of just been talking about the music, but I want to get to know you as a person. So does everyone else.
Yeah, of course. I'm ready. I'm all ears. I'll answer anything.
Okay, cool. So, here's one of the questions I had for you. So, when you were a kid, kids watch movies over and over again. So, what was one of those movies that you just watched like all the time?
Okay. First movie that came to my mind is Step Brothers.
Really?
Have you
Yeah.
seen that movie? Okay, I know it's not like necessarily a kid movie, but my parents were pretty lenient, and same with a couple of my friends. And so I remember sneaking into that movie when it was in theaters because it was rated R, and I wasn't 17. I was probably like, I don't know, like 12 at the time. And that is a movie that once I saw it, I have watched it. I'm not even joking. I've definitely watched it over 100 times. So yeah, it's like people hate watching that movie with me, like specifically that movie, because I'm saying every word that comes out of their mouths.
my fiance is that way with Dumb and Dumber. So
Okay, there you go. Great movie as well.
yep.
Good question.
Right. Okay, so what is one of your weirdest talents?
One of my weirdest talents. I don't know if it's weird. This is the first thing I thought of, but like every time I see an open area, like a big grassy open area, I have to do a round off backflip. It just like satisfies me so much. So that is something that I guess is a talent. I don't know. I think that's a talent. So
Yeah.
that'd probably be one of my weirdest talents. I don't know.
Yeah, that's something that like a lot of people can't do. So I guess it's a talent. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. And people, there's like pro gymnasts and they're very talented at what they do. So yeah, I would consider that a talent.
Yep. Okay, so here's another kind of talent or skill question. What's
Okay.
something that you gained from like your sisters? Like, what's a skill that you've gained from them? Maybe some way of life that you've learned to live because of.
Well, let's see. I mean, there's so many things that I've learned from my sisters, and I just have to say I am so grateful to have two older sisters. I feel like they teach you a lot in life as a young kid, especially a young boy going through high school and stuff. But something specifically, the first thing that popped into my head was they kind of taught me how to sing. even though that's like a weird thing, you know, you kind of stumble upon it on your own anyways. But they kind of pushed me into a corner, and like, or not a, I guess, no, they showed me that it was a possibility, that I could sing and dance. And that was because they made me try out for show choir when I was in sixth grade. And so, you know, when I was like 8 or 9 years old in sixth grade, or 10, I don't know how old you are in sixth grade, but I wanted to play sports in high school. That was like my dream. I was like, I'm gonna be a sports guy, you know. And it went the other way, and they got me into music, and so I'm really grateful for them for that.
That's cool. So are they like kind of the singing type too then? Is that
They loved, I mean, everyone in my house is always singing. But you know, I don't know if they're like comfortable singing in public. They never do. But I think both my sisters have beautiful voices. One was a soprano and one was in like an alto, I think is what you say. And yeah, they were very, very into singing in high school. So, but now, of course, you know, they have their own jobs that don't include singing. And so they don't really sing that much anymore. But I hear them singing in the house all the time.
well, that's good. But
They're
let's
very
say
good.
themselves or in the shower.
Yes, exactly. There you go.
Okay, so what is one of your favorite dinners that your mom makes?
Oh my God. Okay. So this is a dinner that sounds kind of basic. And as a kid, I dreaded it. I would always say, like, Mom, please don't make this. Please don't, like, ugh, like, why did you make this? And now I love it so much. And that dinner is lemon chicken, just lemon chicken breast. Sounds really plain. With broccoli. She'll like saute broccoli, and it is so good. And as a kid, I neglected all of my healthy foods all the time. I would never eat them. And so now growing up, or at least a little bit grown up, I feel like that's something that I love. So definitely that.
Cool.
Even though it's like super boring, I'm sorry.
No, that's, I mean, mine is like with my mom's is like a Polynesian dinner supper that she makes. And it's
Okay.
just, it's like a really random dish, but when people ask, like, that's what it is. So,
No, it's like everybody's mom has like their own dish that's just really good, and you cannot say no to it, and that's what it is for me.
yep. Okay, so the other one that we actually, when we were on here before, we had a couple questions from the like fans. So one of them was like when you're stressed out or you have anxiety, especially like what we're going through right now,
Yep.
what kind of like stay calm or like when you're stressed?
I mean, I swear I'm not the person to ask because
Me either.
like I get so down on myself sometimes. It's like it can get really depressing, and I know everyone can relate because it's just a part of life being a human. We're weak in that way. Like our minds are so powerful, and they can convince us things that just aren't true, you know? And so I guess something that helps me is hanging out with friends, you know, seeing your buddies and being honest and open with your friends. Like I know that's something like as a guy, and I'm sure it's a struggle as a girl too, but as a guy, it's kind of hard to share your emotions with other guys. And it's like something that is not necessarily viewed as like a super manly thing to do, you know, but it's something that helps me, you know, like if I'm ever super down, like I'll call my buddy Jack J, and, you know, we'll talk through some stuff, and it's like, it just helps to hear someone else's voice and you know, hear them say like, man, that's not that big of a deal. No one even thinks about that. Like it's just you're in your head, you know, and sometimes that's what you need to hear when you are super in your head. And it's in a time like this, I can definitely see how people are getting down on themselves and kind of, you know, getting stuck in that anxiety circle where you're just thinking bad thought after bad thought. And I think it just, I know it sounds cliche, but just try to stay positive and think about any positive that you have in your life, you know? And it's something as simple as like if you talk to your mom or your dad today, like that's something that a lot of people don't get to do all the time. Or if you have a dog and that your dog is wagging its tail because they're happy to see you, you know, it's like so simple, but that's positivity. And if you can focus on those positive moments, I feel like it makes life a little bit easier because it's very easy to get down and get depressed, you know?
Yeah, and even like for me at least during like what we're going through, which is crazy, but like just looking at the things that are going to go on, you know, like later on, like, I'm going to like a reggae concert in October, hopefully.
Yeah.
um,
Who are you gonna see? I'm curious because I love reggae.
so Slightly Stupid will be there.
No way!
Yeah.
Come on, that's like one of my favorites.
Yeah, it's in
Love
Vegas.
Slightly Stupid.
Yeah.
Actually, okay, here's like a little bit of like, I know this is off topic, but Slightly Stupid, right? It was actually like exactly maybe 8 years ago. I don't know. It was on 420 though. I remember specifically they were playing on 420 in my hometown. But it was my cousin's like bar mitzvah that weekend in Kansas City. And so I know this is really specific, uh, but it was his bar mitzvah. And so I was like, I have to be there for my cousin. And so that was a Saturday on 419. And then 420 was the Sunday. And I had to be there on 420. And so I drove back. I convinced my parents to let me take the car. I had just turned 16. And I actually was like, I thought that I was going to be late to the concert. And so I was speeding. And I got a ticket when I was crossing like the state line. I think I was in Missouri still at this point. And I was going 110 miles an hour in a 70 miles an hour zone, which I feel so bad about because that is so unsafe. Please don't drive fast if you're watching this. That was a really bad thing. And so I had to go to court like 3 weeks later, and it was like an hour and a half away from my house because that's where I got the ticket. And my dad, oh my God, he was so mad at me. And I just remember that that's a specific memory that I have because I really wanted to go see Slightly Stoopid with all my friends. And it ended up, I made it there, but I got there late because I got pulled over, you know? So speed. That's the moral of the story.
Exactly. Listen to Jack.
Yeah. But I get what you're saying, and you should look forward to those moments if you have plans after this, or even something as simple as like going back to school in the fall if you're in high school or anything like that. It's just you gotta just stay positive and look at those moments. Like they'll come one day. It's okay that we're home right now.
For sure. Okay, are you ready for this question?
We'll see.
So, okay, I had an old roommate here in Utah, and this was the first time I heard about you and Jack J, okay?
Mm-hmm.
She told me she has a pair of your pants.
She has a pair of my pants?
Yes.
Okay. 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 So what's the question?
So, do you remember this in Utah, or do you have a story with it?
Okay, so Utah, how did she get my pants?
I don't know, because I don't know. She something to the effect of, I asked Jack for his pants, and later on he gave me a pair of his pants.
Okay. I mean, that doesn't sound too far-fetched. Like, if she was a fan and she came to a show, you know, if someone asks for something, and maybe a lot of times, like, during the show, the fans will hold up, like, a phone, and it'll have text on it, like, take off your shirt, or say hello to Jasmine, or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And usually I try to do those things, and if I can't do them on stage, then I'll do them after the concert. So that doesn't seem too far-fetched. Maybe she said, give me your pants. And so maybe I gave her my pants. I don't know. I really don't know. But if you ever see her again, which I'm sure you will, it's your friend, right?
Yeah. Acquaintance now.
If you see her again, or if you talk to her again, ask her to send a picture of the pants, and I can confirm if they're mine or not.
Okay. I will.
But that's a crazy thing. I don't even know. I have no idea.
That's literally the first time I heard about you, so I just had to bring it up.
Okay, no, that's a good. Hey, that's kind of a weird way to hear about me, but at the same time, it's okay. Word of mouth. I'm okay with however you hear about me.
Right? Okay, one last question for you.
Okay.
So, what is some of the artists that have kind of created who you are as
a okay, I don't know if they've definitely shaped me. I don't know if they created the way I am because it's just I'm a combination of a lot of things and a lot of influences. But this sounds so basic, but in high school, like literally the only album I would listen to once it came out, I think it came out in 2012. But Nothing Was the Same by Drake. Like I know every lyric to that entire album. I've listened to that album so many times. So that album is definitely like a huge part of me musically and where I kind of aim to go to in the future. You know, I want to be able to move on the beat just like he does, which is crazy because he's the best of the best. But you got to have high aspirations. Another person is definitely Party Next Door, kind of under the same bubble. I listen to Party Next Door like all the time. But on like a different spectrum, going back to what we were talking about, like Slightly Stoopid and bands like Revolution and, there's so many reggae bands that I listen to, and I don't necessarily make reggae music, but it's a huge part of who I am and what I listen to. And then going back even further, bands like U2 back in like the late 90s or late 80s, early 90s, the stuff that they were putting out, And then, you know, bands like Coldplay, anything that they've ever made, like I just love Coldplay. Some people like hate on them tremendously, but I think they're amazing.
They're
Um,
cool.
and then even further back than that, I have stuff that my dad used to play, like all this Tom Petty and all this Pearl Jam. So it's kind of a range of like all of that. So yeah, I hope that helped a little to
No,
answer that.
totally did. Yeah. Okay, so a couple other things because I got a couple messages before we got on, and some of the fans were they felt like they wanted to interact a little bit more. And
Okay,
so I wanted to see if you would give a shout out to some of them. So
of course.
Morgan is someone who was on here before. She's from France.
Morgan from France. I mean, if you're from France and you're watching right now, I think that means that it's 3:15 a.m.,
Yep.
which is insane. So thank you for watching. Thank you for staying up. I hope you have a great night's sleep. And I love you, Morgan. Thank you.
Yeah. And then the other one was Marie, and I don't remember where she was at though. And then Lisa. So those are the three main ones that stuck out to me. So
Okay, Marine, I love you. I don't know if you're still watching, but thank you for tuning in and being a fan. And then Lisa, of course. Lisa, I love you. Thank you so much for commenting and for being a fan of mine and supporting me. Seriously, all these people in this chat though
yep.
a shout out, or deserve, you know, it's just insane that this many people are interested in what I have to say. So I really appreciate all of you guys in the comments or even just watching. Thank you.
Yeah. So
Cheers.
everyone that's watching, everyone just make sure you go on to wherever you stream your music and listen to this new song. It's so cool, called My Love, and then you can watch the video on YouTube. So thanks for being on.
Yeah. No, thank you so much for taking the time. I hope you're having a great quarantine. I hope you're staying safe. I hope your family's healthy. And thank you so much. I can't wait to come visit you guys in Salt Lake.
Yep, for sure. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a great night.
Okay, see ya. Bye, guys.